Hello everyone and welcome back to Grand Prix Charlotte. I am here, presented by StarCityGames.com of course, and I am here with my boss and everybody's favorite, Erwin.
Hi guys!
Evan, you are currently 2-0-1. We featured you in round one and you actually are still undefeated.
Thanks.
Which is a little surprising, I suppose, to some people, but actually, no, I know that you're a very good Magic player also, but...
I'm okay. It's just the... it's I'll take the wins when I can get them.
Sure.
I was in a scenario last round where it turns out that I was just drawing absolute garbage and was going to draw garbage, as I found out, for at least the next 7 to 8 turns. Like, I'm talking land, 04, elusive Crisis,
right.
land. But then my opponent said, I'll soul ransom your Slaughterhorn. And I'm like, well, all I got's lands in hand, so I'll discard 2 lands to destroy your soul ransom and then get it back.
Right.
And he goes, okay, throw my soul ransom, draw 3. And I picked up soul ransom, looked at the 3 cards in his hand, and I said, that's a game loss. And he said, yeah.
That's awkward. Well, I mean, hey, a win's a win.
A win's a win's
Doesn't
a win.
matter how you get them. I don't think. Now that's very interesting and all, but I think that most people at home would like to hear you talk about the Gold Rush in general, because the Gold Rush, which we have here at Grand Prix Charlotte, this is the second one. The first one was at Grand Prix Salt Lake City last year.
It was,
and it was an enormous success, so much that we ran it back. I think that the folks at home would like to know a little bit about how the genesis of the Gold Rush idea, where it came from, how it came to be.
Okay. Well, the Gold Rush began when Ben Blyweiss, as he sometimes normally does, he calls me up and he's like, hey, I got this crazy idea. Come in my office. I want to tell you about it. And I'm just like, okay, Ben. And like, this isn't the first time this has happened. And so I go into his office. I sit down, and he goes, I got this crazy idea for Salt Lake City. And I go like, okay. And he's like, all right, so what if we just like got a bunch of old cards and put them in envelopes, just gave them away instead of a playmat? And I'm like, oh my God, that's genius. I said, awesome. Let's just do it right now. I just want to do it right now. Like, I'm a guy, I hear a good idea, let's just go. It's happening, it's awesome. Yeah. And it went and it happened. Success. It was unbelievable. Almost 1,200 people in Utah. It was, we had higher attendance than some in what you describe as major American cities that you would expect to be higher than Utah. And as such, we were really excited to basically just make Charlotte as big and as awesome as it could, so we decided to run it back, make it bigger and better, add more cards, add different types of cards, have a foil Ravnica set, 2 foil Ravnica sets rather than including things like the Dark. Like, let's just skip the Dark, let's add some foil Ravnica. Sure. Everybody can enjoy some foil Shocklands and Confidants and all that type of stuff. So, the idea is, I think that it's also a promotion that, A, I would describe it as the best Magic promotion of all time, but B, I would, I know, you got to get it off there. You got to brush your shoulders off. But the other half of it is, I feel like it's also a promotion that is almost unique to Star City, because it's really difficult to get all of these cards together in a form to enable to sort of give them away as a promotion. So with that, I think it utilizes the strengths of like the brain trust at Star City with great ideas, and the other half of is the reach of Star City with the ability to get all of these different types of cards to be able to give away to people.
Absolutely, yeah. So let's talk about this Gold Rush in particular, which was branded as being twice as nice, meaning that there are 2 of each individual card.
Yes, 2 of all the sets. Which
is a staggering amount of cards. Woo! Way more than we would ever need.
Ever!
Assuming we don't break the record by okay. So the math we worked out was that this Grand Prix is larger than Madrid, the previous largest Grand Prix.
That's correct.
By Charleston. It was a Grand Prix in the area.
You took Madrid and you added Charleston.
Yeah.
It was still not equal the amount of people that showed up this weekend.
That is a ludicrous amount of people, and a lot of that is due to the popularity of the Gold Rush. Have you heard any people say that they were drawn? I certainly have.
Yes, absolutely. I've absolutely heard of those stories. I've heard people say that I did my job too well.
Yeah.
I've heard that one this weekend.
It's a good problem to have.
It was very hard.
I've also heard that having the largest North American Grand Prix, or the largest Magic tournament ever, is a 0th world problem. Actually, no one has this problem. We are the only ones who have ever had this problem.
Right, and you never know it's coming. You have no idea it's coming until the morning of. You're like 2K pre-registered last night. The line is out the door. the events team is just like scrambling.
Everyone's scrambling, really.
Oh, I mean, they did an amazing job.
Absolutely.
Like, people can complain about, like, delayed start times, but guys, almost 3,000 people. Like, we prepped, but things went above and beyond. There are a lot of people who went above and beyond in the administrative side to make all this happen in the time it has happened. So the judge staff is absolutely incredible here.
Before we open because you're playing.
I'm playing.
You actually got a Gold Rush envelope.
I did.
So you created this thing, and now you're getting one.
I've never opened one before. Even
very exciting.
From Salt Lake City, I've never opened one.
Is there anything else you want to say about the Gold Rush or about this Grand Prix in general right before we open this?
Sure. I feel like we've set a watermark. We have set the bar so high for ourselves. It will be interesting to see how we move from here. I think, but the other half of it is, I already told Pete, like, I'm getting success cake for SCG. There will be success cake. Excellent. It will be eaten. It will be enjoyed. Excellent. Everyone has earned it by the turnout from here in turnout here in Charlotte.
That's awesome. Yeah, and I'm honored to be a part of it, and I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
But I think we've put it off long enough.
Okay.
But just so everyone sees, this is actually sealed.
Actually, I've not looked at it.
The fix is not in at all. And I think that the folks that have seen our other opens on camera have seen that the fix is certainly not in. But you know what? We might be due. So let's see what we got here.
I am what you would describe as probably a pretty lucky individual. I would say that the luck shines on Evan Erwin. All right, so this is obviously not opened and resealed. This is
trying to get the sound of that.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. All right, so
very exciting.
All right, so it comes out. All right, and then it comes out with you just see the back.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna let the viewers at home.
See it before we see it.
See it before we see it.
Okay.
So I'll flip it around, and then I'll begin pushing it upwards. Okay. All right. You guys see that? Okay.
I'm looking at the director's reaction to see if there's anything.
No idea what the reaction is.
I'm not seeing jumping for joy.
I'm not seeing freaking out. In fact, I'm seeing just this like weird face from Joey. I'm just gonna turn it around now.
Okay. What do we got?
And Azorius Aethermage.
Azorius Aethermage.
Is this have we only opened foil Ravnica?
Only opened foil
on
Ravnica
camera?
On camera, yeah. When permanent is returned to your hand, you may pay a colorless if you do draw a card.
Yep.
Alrighty.
All right, that's good old-fashioned Ascension for you. So.
Yep.
So there was no
yet
fix.
another foil Ravnica card.
We're having fun.
So thank you so much for joining me.
Absolutely, sir.
Good luck in the future.
Thank you.
You know what? I want you to win this Grand Prix for me.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Please.
I'm in. I'm all in.
The happier you are, the happier I am because you don't yell at me at work. No, I'm kidding. But thank you so much for joining me, Evan Erwin, everybody.
Absolutely.
We're going to toss to a guild video. We've already played one or two of these already today. This one is going to be Mr. Brad Nelson teaching you, well, sort of teaching you about Gruul. We are live at Grand Prix Charlotte.
SCG Live is brought to you by StarCityGames.com, and in case you haven't heard, you can now qualify for a StarCityGames.com Invitational through Invitation.